Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat and welcome to another edition of Kapehan sa Davao here at the second floor of SM City Annex. We would like to thank again SM City Davao for hosting weekly Kapehan sa Davao. We would like also to thank Krispy Kreme for their delicious donuts and hot coffee. As announcement po, bukas we have Kapehan sa Bagong Pilipinas featuring the Philippine Statistics Authority, which will be held at the PSA office in Cabaguio. So we are inviting our media to cover our Kapehan sa Bagong Pilipinas tomorrow 9 a.m. to 10 featuring KBP. Our topic for today is the World Day Against Trafficking, and we are joined by our friends from the yung mga sa IACAT, no, partners sa IACAT, and also other mga NGOs and groups, and also from the government that are focused on the fight against anti-human trafficking. And also we have announcement this coming we have Fashion Forward 2024. Ito yung from Icon Elites Artist Management fashion show with a cause. So just for this morning we have Ma'am Jeanette Laurel Ampig, Executive Director of Talikala Foundation. We have sunod pa si Ma'am Gemma de la Cruz of DSWD 11, the Protective Services Division Head. We have Attorney Norman Solis, the Acting Chief Operations RATTF 11, based Office of the Provincial Prosecutor. He's a Provincial Prosecutor of Davao del Norte. Then we have Leia Genson, Henson, Executive Director Mindanao Children's Ministries Network, and we have Pastor Ani Moranco, the founder of Global Impact Philippines Foundation Incorporated. And to talk about Fashion Forward 2024, we have Pao Garcia, the President of Icon Elites Artist Management, the organizer behind Fashion Forward 2024. To start our press conference ruling, we'd like to get the opening statement. We start with Ma'am Jeanette.
Maayong buntag, no? So nanapod mi karong buntaga aron maghiskot kabahin sa human trafficking in time for the World Day Against Trafficking, which is on July 30. So kauban na mo ang IACAT members.
Sa Attorney Norman Solis.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. The fight against human trafficking could not be done by only one agency or only one person. That is why we have a network of NGOs and government organizations. So we are ready to fight. As far as the Department of Justice is concerned, we are ready to prosecute. Thank you.
Okay, Ma'am Leia.
Good morning, everyone. Of course, ang atong makaigsuonan diri sa siyudad sa Davao and Region 11. I'm Leia Henson, representing the Mindanao Children's Ministries Network in partnership with Philippine Interfaith Movement Against Human Trafficking. Uban kami sa atong makaubanan sa faith-based mga Muslim communities, Lumads, and of course the youth in Davao region aron batukan ang human trafficking and online sexual abuse and exploitation of children. Good morning.
Pastor.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Moranco, the founding director of Global Impact, and it's a privilege to be here with you and to do this press con for a very important matter. You know, around the world we are commemorating and advocating against human trafficking, and here in the Philippines we join that fight every single day. Actually, all of us as organizations and agencies are doing that, and this July 30th is an important day, the World Day Against Trafficking, and we as Global Impact and a faith-based NGO here collaborate with within IACAT, the Interagency Council Against Trafficking, to bring awareness, to bring education, and to help victims. Thank you very much.
Okay, Pao, Fashion Forward.
Maayong buntag sa tanan, to all our media friends and to all my co-guests here. And especially to Kapihan sa Davao. Maraming salamat. Thank you for having me here. I'm here once again to invite everybody to watch the show that's coming July 28, 2024, Sunday sa Park Inn po ito, in collaboration with Bantay Hayop Davao. So we're supporting stray dogs, yung mga animals that are survivors through abuse. So this is our focus this coming fashion show na Fashion Forward po.
Okay. Anti-trafficking is close to my heart because I was, dati akong representative PI sa IACAT 11. I remember kasama ko dun si Cholan Merin na DFA, who's now in United Nations, no? And also friends sa Prosecutor's Office, sila Atty. Peter Paul, Tondo, and si Atty. Barabi. Sila yung siging guest dito dati na talk about trafficking. And before I go to a question for trafficking, dito ask a question to Pao, itong event mo Fashion Forward, kasi dati yung special needs yung beneficiary mo in the past two fashion shows, but now sino ang kapartner mo dito?
Kapartner ko po ang Bantay Hayop Davao. So every time I organize a show, I always would like to connect to society kasi I would like to make an impact that my agency is a vessel or an instrument for hope. So, napili ko po ngayon ang Bantay Hayop Davao that they support survivors. They are getting animals na from abuse, yung mga stray dogs, yung pinabayaan po ng mga owners nila. So, they need help. The voiceless of the society like the animals. As we humans, we need help. Kailangan din sila din tulungan like vaccines, support, food, or shelter for them. So, isa po ako, nakikisama po ako sa ganitong mga advokasya para po sa ating mga hayop dito sa Davao City.
So, what's different from the previous mga kuwan?
Before kasi, this time, mas elevated po ang show. Then, we have a lot of designers compared to my previous show. So, our what you call this, the designers are coming from General Santos. So a lot of fashion that we will be using fashion for this cause to invite everybody to watch. And we are representing the 1900s look to 2050, so from past to future look of designs. So it will be exciting because we are finalizing, and some of the dogs from Bantay Hayop Davao will do the runway along with the models. And speaking of models, some of the kids that are my models trained from Icon Elite Artist Management. Isa po sila sa magra-ramp po this coming July 28.
Okay. Maybe next one yung trafficking naman, because I remember we had a film showing about trafficking, no? Yung pelikula ni Erich Gonzalez, and they showed it. It was a team, it was anti-trafficking, and they need more people need awareness really sa yung modes ng anti-trafficking. We'd like to ask Margaret ng Pasarani, how is yung efforts natin sa region? What's in promoting or inculcating awareness, because there are so many forms. It includes also online sexual exploitation against children. What are our efforts with us?
Well, one of our big efforts is to do campaigns in varieties of population sets. So, for example, this week, as IACAT, we are going to Davao de Oro at the provincial capital, and we are gathering youth leaders from all over the province, and we're doing a mass awareness campaign. And so the campaign will be activity-based, it will be fun, it will be interesting, but also the main thrust of it is it's educational. And we will train them and educate them on all forms of human trafficking. So that's one of the things that we feel is so important, is to get this message out, not just to the people like us who work in this field, but out to the masses, out to the population set. Because why? It's important to have eyes and ears out there. People can identify maybe a child that's being abused, or there's a red flag indicator and they can do something about it. Maybe somebody won't be taken back by an illegal recruiter, and so mass education awareness is important. It's something that we as Global Impact do in collaboration with all of IACAT.
Ma'am Le.
So once again, good morning. In partnership with the Philippine Children's Ministries Network, in Davao region, we were able to organize the young people. We call their organization Youth for Safety. So 6 cities and 5 provinces. And we just ended our major project and OSAEC in Davao region. And of course, as a faith-based organization, we partnered with the churches, and we are so happy that we also are active in organizing even the interfaith. So we just celebrated our World Weekend of Prayer last June with the Muslim, Nomads, and of course the Christian communities in our region. So for now, the program continues, especially in DepEd. So we were able to reach out to 69,000, especially in Davao and Igacos. But of course, a big challenge to all the region partners because we need to reach them. Most of the time, we work with the government. No, sa gobyerno talaga sila yung ating partners, and we are not done yet. So, marami pang mga potential vulnerable children na mabiktima. If ever, hindi natin ito bigyan ng focus. And of course, we need to make the public aware, especially the parents, kasi sila talaga yung main duty bearers to support our children. Thank you.
Tony.
As far as the Department of Justice is concerned, our effort is focused on the prosecution of the offenders. We have a lot of offenders, and they are coming not only from the Philippines but also from the other countries such as United States, New Zealand, Germany, ongoing now, and we have also offenders coming from Italy and all other European countries. So the DOJ is prosecuting these offenders, and we cannot do it without the help of our co-partners, especially the Department of Social Welfare and Development, because they are the ones who are taking care of our witnesses. And as time goes, nag-evolve ang face ng human trafficking. Hindi lang ito person to person, kundi hindi actual, kundi online ginagawa nila. So we should be one step ahead of these perpetrators. Thank you.
Remember you, updates yung, di ba may na-raid ka sa Santo Tomas? It's a foreigner na parang I think there was an operation.
Yung sa Santo Tomas na operation, nakuha namin sa Carmen. The offender is from abroad, from the US, and the child victim is being offered by the mother. It was the mother who is the offender. So, kinakuha natin yon. Ngayon, marami tayo. Ang offenders natin, member ng LGBT, nag-offer ng bata, minor, to his client abroad. Then they have a show online through different platforms, especially Facebook, Messenger, Line, and Viber.
Okay. Ma'am Janet,
maing buntag usab, no. So karong July 30 is the 10th World Day Against Trafficking. So pulo ka tuig kan siya gi-declare sa United Nations isip usa ka global nga campaign, no. Tapos ang iyahang matan-aw nato nga in terms of sa talikala, ang amo aga pong ginabuhat aron makakontribute diha sa kampanya sa tiyakat mautong paghatag og serbisyo sa mga biktima nga na traffic, no. In fact, kadong tuiga lang na ay unom ka bata nga biktima nga na-record namo, no, na-refer na siya sa mga sa DOJ o sa DSWD. And then, aside from that, dako nga participation sa mga traffic persons in educating the community on what is trafficking in persons. Mautong nakita namo nga importante nga ang partisipasyon sa mga biktima makatabang diya sa kampanya kay usay madlitan nato ang boses sa mga biktima o katong pag-tap gyud sa mga community residents to educate their neighbors or katong kapwa bata. So we have community education line up diri sa Davao City para sa mga barangay no nga sila gyud mag-edukar. Aside from that, gina-target namo ang 182 barangays na educate sila kabahin sa trafficking kay dunay isa ka research sa isa ka universidad nga dako ang porsyento nga wala na sabtan sa mga barangay officials ang kabahin sa trafficking. So nahagit ni kauban ang IGBD na magpahigayon o usa ka forum karong tayo para may isgutan unsa gyud ang kulang diya sa pag-edukar na ang iyakat na iyakat bouncy na mga CSO unsay nahitabo in terms sa kanang awareness ng mga barangay. O nakita po namo nga kinahanglan na istoryahan na sa mga service providers unsa tong gaps sa paghatag sa mga serbisyo since ang talikala naa siya sa service provision sa mga biktima. O nakita namo nga ang kamandanon nga magpahigayon og usa ka forum para sa mga kabataan tungod kay ang international na tema sa World Day Against Trafficking is Leave No Child Behind in the Fight Against Trafficking in Person. So importante madungog na ko sa punto de vista sa mga bata kay sila may pinaka-vulnerable nga ma-traffic kay 1 out of 3 nga biktima sa trafficking globally is a child. So importante nga makatampo sila, masabtan nila ug di lang sila mudawat sa mga serbisyo kundi active participant siya sa campaign in the fight against human trafficking.
Okay, before I follow up ako ng Ma'am Janet, makadami siyang usually last namin I guess meron siyang mga bagong phones no, by everyone, lalo na online to describe yung Akon Elites Arentes Management because you've been very visible sa mga...
Yes, actually to everybody's information, especially to my guest po. Iconics is a business started from scratch of inspiring a lot of young individuals. So actually hearing the sentiments about human trafficking, I am one of this because we are also subject for trafficking. Our industry is subject for trafficking. Especially there's a lot of beautiful women and vulnerable po sila sa mga ganitong cases. Actually, there's a lot of things nga na going na mga ganon. But me as a vessel of, instrument for this, I would like, this agency is a modeling agency. We encourage everyone to boost their confidence and to have body alignment posture sa pangarap po nila na maging model. So I am having fashion show again this July 28 nga and always been supporting advocacies and now Bantay Half Davao po ito.
Oh, because you have noticed parang vulnerable sa USAID yung online sexual...
Actually, I've heard this issue, sir, no, na meron bang picture or video kinukuha galing sa mga agencies, then pinopost nila sa, I don't know what to call that, mga messenger ng mga predators. So they use that as a mode of attraction yung mga galing sa mga agencies kasi syempre, we just post for marketing but they use that for other things. So narinig ko yun na issue na ginagamit yung mga rampahan kasi syempre sexy yung mga models, mga ganyan. So ngayon, that's why our outfit po sa classes, I encourage them to wear pants, especially the below 18 na mga minors talaga. But of course, I would like to leave them the fashion statement that they have, yung mga talents ko. Pero I encourage them not to wear too much revealing talaga. Kasi we are open in social media ngayon. Parang tinatawag nilang black market. I don't know how to use that term. But parang ganon.
Okay, to Ma'am Leia or also to Ma'am Janet, ano yung parang gano'n, no, na how we, because you said parang 69,000, you reach 69,000 people. Usually, ang pinaka-prevalent ngayon is OSAIC because online siya, very, with your phone, you can earn money by parang exploiting on how can we prevent this or what, and for Ma'am Janet, ano yung mga bagong points na monitor ninyo?
Sige. We are happy indeed, no, kay ang na-organize nato na mga Youth for Safety. So they are advocates in our cities, 6 cities and 5 municipalities. In fact, karon nga week no ang DSWD nakig-alayon sa atong mga young people nga na-train, sila na nag-conduct sa attorney sa YDS Youth Development Session. We have a module nga talagang we are sharing it freely kasi kung natay mga materials or advocacy mga sessions, dili siya dapat itago kundi ihatag kay dili man pud nato mahab-an no ang problema sa world. So with the average of 500 children yung youth ng Bigos, ang atong mga young people nag-start na sila advocate, and this is my first time not to join with them. So di ba ang ganda pag may mga second learners, sorry, of course we have already second learners and average of 30 active youth advocacy in each province or city, then it will multiply because our goal is actually the 100 voices. At ang ganda nito, we are also building alliances with the 69,000 just for Davao and Igacos. But you know, Davao, DepEd gave us the data sa mga students last year. There are 203,000 population sa atong DepEd. Wala pa na labot ang mga colleges kasi ang children, di ba, below 18. So, and even ang atong mga youth, vulnerable gapon silang mabiktima. So, pangunahan na to ang mga young people, isip active na mga advocates, ang atong mga second liners. But of course, let's also not forget that churches, kasi sabi namin as a faith-based organization, victimization can also happen even in churches. Kaya, if possible, all sectors and most of all the families, kasi based on the study, 62% of the victimizers actually come from the families. And these families are very, very poor families. Thus, they start selling their children. Kasi ang usaek, dili raman tong ang mga bahat, mag-share sila mga picture, but talagang ginanegosyo na ang mga anak. And of course, ignorance of the law excuses no one. Dili nato sawayon ang kapobrehon sa Pilipinas, sa ato ang mga komunidad. Thus, we are not just advocating, sharing these awareness sessions, but we also try to partner with the different agencies na sana mutaas pod ang level sa atong panginubuhian sa tumaginikanan aron maundang, mapakgang ang maong pag-abuso. So there are lots. In fact, this coming 31, we will be observing this WADAT, World Day Against Trafficking, with the BISICAT, VAUSI, and the PIMAT. No? Davao is very active pagdating ng Davao City Committee Against Trafficking and Violence Against Women and Children. In fact, gusto na kong i-highlight, no? Kita nga kaigsunan sa syudad sa Davao na atay monitoring sa airport, sa mga terminal, katong mag-travel na children alone. Talagang mag-stop sila for a while for investigation. Kaya we want really to protect our children diri sa atong syudad. So for now, pag mga inisyatibo, so giimbita gyud ang tanan nga makiglambigit, no, through the leadership also of the SWD and of course our interagency AYACAT. Salamat.
Ma'am Janet.
Sama sa giingon nga daghang forma sa trafficking, isa karon kanang sa OSAEC, no, ang diin ang mga bata ang biktima. Kung ingon tagbagong forma, maog pa ng forma teknolohiya, pero ano na kanang nasunod na ang mga online games like Roblox, no, na ay mga dali ay mga OSAEC nga nahitabo, na ay grooming nga nahitabo diya sa mga online games. Mao nang importante nga maedukar ang atong komunidad nga dili lang sa mga ordinaryo nga platform like Facebook, mga ingana, kundi man sa online games na may mga grooming which will lead to CSAM or child sexual abuse and exploitation material. Pwede po ma-share ang mga pictures. So, hagit din sa ng mga ginikanan nga edukaron ang ilang mga anak kabahin sa paggamit sa teknolohiya. Mas maayo mahatagan o ganang cyber safety education o mga red flags ang mga bata kabahin sa paggamit sa technology aron malikayan nga mahimong biktima sila sa usaid.
So Roblox gaming platform na ilang entry, no?
Naay grooming dia. Na siya na itabo.
Before to questions to media, no? I would like to ask Attorney Solis, yung sa government, DOJ, kasi magsusona na si President, ano yung na-relate natin regarding anti-trafficking tip, no?
Kung napansin ninyo, every president na magsona, i-mention yun niya ang about sa human trafficking. Kaya kini ginamonitor sa US Department of Justice nila kung asa na ta sa ato ang effort sa human trafficking. For the last 9 years, Tier 1 ta. Buot pasabot na ata sa na human trafficking na hitabo sa Pilipinas og nag-effort ang government o non-government para ma-avoid ang human trafficking. So, today, sa SONA, we expect na number 1 gihapon ta sa Tier 1 ta na category. Okay. First off punta, kung sa ako lang pabuot-on, gusto na ko i-define kung unsa ning human trafficking kay basig nagsigit ang istorya unya kabalo man tatanan, ang uban wala kabalo. So we might be accused of preaching the choir. So ang human trafficking sa simple nga language is nag-recruit kung bata nag-recruit for exploitation purposes. Unsa nga exploitation? Labor, organ, or sexual exploitation which is prevalent as of the moment. So mao na siya ang human trafficking. Pag of age naman, naipamaagi. Gilin lang, dakog sweldo sa abroad, pagabot dito, courier dahil siya sa drugs, or naghimo sila o work nila, dili mao sa naka-describe sa ila sa during pag-recruit. So, gi-exploit sila dito abroad, gi-exploit sila dito sa Pilipinas, gi-recruit, gi-exploit, pinagi sa paglinlang. Yun ang simple language ng human trafficking.
Okay. Yung even with the yung opak online na same pa rin yung definition, no? Wala siya na
sa online, magandang question. Sa online, same pa rin except na gamit o information technology, IT. Example, gamit siya og email, gamit siya og Facebook, any platform for communication. So pag ginamit niya na appeal na siya sa online. Example, diri lang mismo sa ato sa Davao, diri sa Times Beach. Mama, inahan, kauban ng iyang igsuon, babae pareho, ilang pa-post ang ilang anak patubangan sa laptop. Apil pod ang iyang pagumangkon kay nakabalo man sila nga nay kwarta. Then pagpadala og kwarta bayad sa ilaha pinagi sa money transfer, example Western Union. Ipa-cambio lang sa outlet, pagkahapon kwarta na. In a matter of seconds, kwarta na. Nalagot niya ato kay among i-prosecute ang mama o ang auntie niya. 28 cases, dili magid sila maka-iligtas, nag-plead guilty sila. Karon naana sila sa Dapicol. Ang mga bata was taken care of. So ana ang online sexual exploitation of children. Mao na ang naong, mao na ang itsura.
Okay, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guests. We have Ma'am Ruby Bulino, the co-founder and board of trustees, president, program coordinator, and senior ground member of senior ground rescuer of Bantay Hayop Davao. Partner niya si Pao Garcia sa Icon Elites. So, ma'am.
Maayong buntag sa tanan. Thank you for having us here. Ako si Rovi, gikan sa Bantay Hayop Davao. So we are an animal welfare group in Davao City. We partner with the community and also the government, no, to help enhance the imposition of animal welfare in Davao City. We are here because we are the beneficiary of Ms. Pao Garcia's incoming fashion show on July 28. So we will talk further about it later if you have questions.
Okay. Then we have Ma'am Jubilin Trajano, the Social Welfare Officer 2 of DSWD 11. Hello, ma'am.
Mayong buntag sa tanan. So, once more ako si Jovelyn Trajano, usa ka social worker. Previously, ang lead secretariat ng Interagency Council Against Trafficking and VAUSI. So, with me also, no, naalang siya sa audience karon. But if we have, no, later, if we will have some questions concerning sa atong programs and services, with me also is the RRPTT or katong nagahatag yun og programa para sa traffic person. So, with me is Ms. Gladys Credo.
Okay. Before I open the floor to questions from you, I would like to ask Pastor Amy, because I've been seeing very visible yung mga like events on I think when we have celebrations with Ilakat. What's the can you tell us more about Global Impact Philippines Foundation and how many years? What are, because you've already told us, but what are your programs for this coming year against in relation to efforts against DIP?
Thank you. Global Impact is a SEC-registered foundation since 2010. I personally, I'm the founder, and I've been here in the Philippines 25 years, and I celebrate that fact, so I like to say that. And we are a faith-based organization. We do leadership training, many things. And over about 15 years ago, actually, I heard a story about a young woman in Asia, not here in Philippines, but in Asia, who had been sold into sex trafficking, basically into prostitution as a teenager. And it just broke my heart. And I wanted to do something about it. With 25 million plus victims around the world, I said to myself, what can one person do? Really, and I think that's something that's a fact with this. We hear all these statistics, we hear the problems, and we often think, what can I do? You know, just one person or one organization. But I really felt like, let's start and let's just do whatever's in my hand to do. And over the years, it's grown within Global Impact to where it's one of our main divisions of what we do here in the Philippines, focusing in southern Mindanao. And our niche role, our place that we focus is on education and awareness. So for us as an organization, we go from, it could be like into the tribal areas, it could be to children, it could be to youth, it can be to actually officers in the different uniformed personnel, like the PNP, the BFP, different ones like that, into universities. So businesses, any spectrum of society, we believe, needs to have awareness of what is human trafficking, because none of us are absolved from it, and all of us can do something. So that's kind of the role that we take in a supportive role within IACAT, and we try to be on the front lines of education and awareness. So, for example, as mentioned before, actually in 2 days we're holding a very large youth summit. We're all involved in that. It's one of the big pushes, and it's our commemoration and activity for this World Day Against Trafficking. And so we're gathering hundreds and hundreds of youth, and this is something that we as Global Impact have done for the last several years. We've done it in many provinces, because again, the idea is if we can get the message to leaders, and especially young leaders, emerging leaders, then they can get it out into their communities. And so we do that. We do that ongoing. We do several of these through the year. What else that we do, as you asked, is we do training. So we do training in universities, in schools, in colleges, in businesses, so that, again, many people can understand. We also have a weekly online radio program that's on DXFE. and a wide variety of other education and awareness programs. So yes, we're very active in trying to be out in the community.
You said you focus in Southern Mindanao. Are you based in Davao, and why is it the focus? Is it because the conditions in the ground is fertile for the growth of trafficking?
Why do we focus in Southern Mindanao? Well, number one, it's where we established as an organization years ago, and having a heart for Mindanao. And I think there's just a lot of work still to be done. Region 11, we're very active, aren't we? But there's many other regions where a lot of work still needs to be done, and our voice needs to get out there, and victims need to be rescued. So I think it's partly because it's where we settled ourselves as an organization years ago. But second of all, yes, there's still a ton of work to be done here. There's so many victims that are out there right now, and somebody doesn't know that they're a victim. And there's a lot more education and awareness, especially not only within Region 11, but in the other regions. So that's why we are here.
Okay, open the floor to questions from media. Kat?
Hello po, good morning po. Particularly for Attorney Solis and also for the SWD, we are talking about human trafficking and its related issues, but we would like to know the data in Davao City and in Davao region.
For Davao region, the data are as follows. We have 79 cases, 38 related cases. Why related cases? Kasi ang human trafficking, convicted ito convicted. Human trafficking, pag na-recruit ka, ang magtrabaho, then they are exploited, ang kaso ni mo, duha. Human trafficking plus illegal recruitment. If the recruiter is not authorized to recruit. Okay. May na-dismiss, but pasabot aning na-dismiss, meaning na-dismiss kay kulang ang evidence, na-dismiss kay wala na ang ato ang dili na interesado mo padayon ang ato ang mga biktima. Napoy na archive, meaning na-file na mo ang case. Sa dismissal, we have 42. Ang uban naman, gi-withdraw nila. Ang uban na archive. Ang archive, na case, di-file na mo against the recruiter, but the court could not arrest the accused. Kaya at large siya. So archive ang tawag na. Ang withdraw naman, pagka case na na-file na mo, then later, mahirapan kami mag-prosecute dahil wala tayong witnesses, kaya i-withdraw na to. For the withdrawal, we have 8, then we have 28 archived, and mayroon tayong acquittal na 19. Acquittal meaning tuloy-tuloy ang case, then acquitted sa court, may decision ng court. Acquitted ng court. Acquitted ng court ang case, ang accused. So yun ang statistics natin. As of now, marami tayong pinaprosecute all over the region. Davao City, especially Panabo City. So for Davao City, we have 55. Digos, we have 3. Panabo City, we have 7. Mati, we have 2. Island Garden City of Samar, we have 5. And we have 1 from Davao del Sur and 1 from Davao Occidental. Kani lain-lain nga kaso na atong gina-prosecute sa court as of now.
So follow up to that, out of the 79 cases, no, and these are yung mga sinasabi ninyong recruiters, but do we have a case na we already prosecuted or na hatulang guilty yung mga pimps talaga here and abroad? Yes,
of course. Kalimitan nga nito, exploitation to sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation. Ang typical na kaso nito, yung nag-recruit ng bata, then binugaw, in-offer, online, huli. mayroon namang itong ongoing natin, yung nag-recruit, uyab-uyab niya taga Davao o taga Surigao. Then he came over to the Philippines all the way from Italy. Then na prosecute natin. Meron tayong case, ako mismo humawak from New Zealand. Luckily or unluckily, namatay siya during detention. Kasi nag-record siya ng bata from Kidapawan, then dinala niya sa hotel dito sa May Ilustre, then pinaliguan niya. Siya mismo nag-recruit, siya mismo nag-exploit. So, yun.
Pass na lang po sa inyo, sir. You mentioned kanina na sa category 1. Can you elaborate? Ano po yung urgency to to address the category, the status of Davao Region or Davao City? I don't know, pero
to look at Tier 3, Tier 1, Tier 2, at saka Tier 1. Pag Tier 3 ang category nimo as a country, meaning there are cases of human trafficking, but the government hardly makes an effort to combat human trafficking. Tier 2 naman, pagka may human trafficking in-acknowledge na mayroon existing, then hindi enough ang ginawa na effort ng country. Sa Tier 1, we acknowledge that there is human trafficking and the government is moving heaven and earth to combat this human trafficking. So nandyan tayo because active tayo, most especially last year, Davao Region ang #1 sa fight against human trafficking all over the Philippines, with, of course, with the collaboration of our partners from the government and non-government group.
Ma'am, thank you, sir. Punta ko kay Ms. Jeanette. Ma'am, I remember last year, ma'am, I wrote about yung local prostitution and also online prostitution, and you've mentioned that although there's an effort, we need to have an active implementation of the OSAEC and the Magna Carta of Women to protect children and women involved in this kind of cases, no. Sa siguro perspective ng NGOs, kumusta yung efforts natin? Kasi di ba ang NGOs are also involved sa IACAT, pero kumusta sa tingin niyo yung implementation?
In terms of awareness raising, mas yun ang pagpasabot sa kanang komunidad kabahin sa OSAEC o kaning sa online prostitution. Pero despite sa effort, kinahanglan ma-address ang vulnerability ng mga babae o bata nga masulod sa human trafficking or trafficking in persons for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Kay kung tanaw nato, ang medyo nakatay limitasyon in terms of addressing the vulnerability. While naay mga effort for recovery and rehabilitation, ang among nakita yun importante nga makita ang kamay nung danon sa katong pagtanaw nganong vulnerable nga ma-recruit online man or offline ang atong mga kababaihan o kabataan. So kana ang amo ang panawagan gyapon, addressing the vulnerability of women and children para mahimong biktima or mahimong ready supply for the trafficking in persons, no. Kinahanglan ma-address pud ang demand katong edukaron tong kinsa pa ay dakong demand for these women and children. Kay kung sige lang tao wala ta kayo intentional message for the demand, magpadayon gihapon ang trafficking in persons. Kay it's about supply and demand, no. Trafficking in persons is about supply and demand. Therefore we have to intentional nga na core messages for the demand side o sa business side ng trafficking in persons. Kay basin malimtan nato nga dili ta permi sa mga biktima or vulnerable makalimot ang edukar sa katong nagapangita, no, og nagabaligya sa mga babae ug bata para sa trafficking in persons. persons.
Because you said we talk about education, paano pa tayo magturo para ma-aware yung mga because there's some mag-educate tayo, hindi na maglabas lang sa kabilang tema yung ating tinuturo.
Okay, before I answer that, pwede ko rejoinder kay Jen based on the question. Tomorrow, July 23, ang first hearing ng with NGO and the CSOs in the city, yung adoption of the End-OSAIC law in Davao, no localization. So therefore, ang atong balaod nga napasa, kung ano siyang ordinansa, localized na sa syudad, talagang ang inuriya, the engineers, everything, ang effort ng city government of Davao, talagang ibukbo niya. So, through the leadership of our very own Councilor Tricia Ann Villaferte, so she's actually inviting us because kami as an NGO, we are also sitting in the local council for the protection of children. Pag permanente gini present para madali o dako kaniya tabang diri sa atong syudad sa Davao. Of course, sir, popularization, way back 2 years ago, tungod sa nakita nato nga nagataas ang Davao City manggod, kita manggod ang sentro nga syudad diri sa Mindanao. And especially since CPRRD naging president, many people are coming in. So with a 1.8 million population nato, actually it's increasing. So, ang among gihimo, I invited our partner in Manila, the Philippine Children's Ministries, that tulungan tayo, tabangan pa, that they will help us and come up with a proposal to combat OSAIC in Davao region. So, with this well-crafted modules, trainings, we started working with the different CSOs in the city. So far, I would say, sa akong paglibot-libot sa itong syudad, napod tayo maayo nga mga manuals, natay mga video, manuals, PowerPoint, or flip chart, para gid mo abot sa magkalain-lain nga sectors. Una, ang anong nakakuha tag 69,000, sir, through the MOA, Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Education, we train our teachers, especially yung mga values education teachers, kasi with the new mandate ni Mansara nga dili basta-basta no madisturbo ang klase sa atong mga bata. So talagang i-integrate the session dito sa atong awareness raising. So we train them, we provide them with materials, so natay gitawag og worksheet. Kining worksheet na pwede po nagamit, now English at Tagalog. Mag-start ni siya, sir, og pre-test, then of course mga modules, and the post-test. The pre-test will determine kung unsa kataas sa red flag sa atong mga bata. Pag human sa session, teachers will know and the encoders ang datos pinagi sa kobo, nabalaan nga oy kini nga bata nag-engage na, nag-share, nag-picture, no, nag-engage na siya, kinahanglan matabangan siya para ma-stop ang iyang gihimo. Then of course, pagdating sa mga interfaith, nagnanata karon sa mga Muslim communities, so we are crafting or we're having a plan of MOA with them kasi we want to integrate our worksheet dito po sa madrasa. No, ilang i-translate. Then of course, other sectors with Catholic, the CBCP, the PCEC, NCCP, Muslims, and of course the IP. So, daghang forms na natin gitawag og SOCC, Special Office for Children's Concerns, nag-share tag materials dito para ang nakabataan, ang nakomunidad, 182 barangays in our city pwede sila mo-access and other members in Davao region. And AYACAT is very active sa pagsuporta in any form para gyud mas matabangan ang atong sector partners na makaabot sa ilang ato materials. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to ask before again, I would like to ask Ruby, yung nagtanong ko ba ito last Tuesday na kamusta na yung ating situation sa ating pet shelters, no? Mga ano po yung makailangan natin and how many rescued, no? Mga pets na rescue natin dito sa city.
When it comes to animal rescuing po, halos hindi natin nabibilang yon. It's because in the community, wala din po talagang data. Unfortunately, even yung sunog sa Magallanes, because Bantay Hayop Davao is one of the forefronts when it comes to rescuing, especially post-disaster sa mga hayop. Walang data po kung ilang aso ang nasunog, but what we had counted is merong less than 10 survivors of cats and dogs. However, dun sa mga namatay, nasa 70 nakatali. But if you ask the barangay, they do not have really the specific, no? Kung meron man tayong data when it comes to pets, these are all for those dogs and cats na may owners. Pero sa strays, wala po. As for the rescue sa amin, hindi na ho namin nabilang, but I think more or less nasa 1,000 na po yung na-rescue ng Bantay Hayop Davao in the past 4 years. So what do we need basically? We rescue, yes, we have a shelter in Malagamot, Tanakan. We do need dog food, cat sand, all the things and all the works for animal welfare to sustain. But now what we are asking and calling is for the communities, like the community of talents and entertainment, like here with Mr. Pau Garcia, to please join us in our work in animal welfare because the community needs it. I don't know if you guys are aware that we have high cases of animal rabies in the past 3 months. In fact, DOH, so the National Office of DOH announced that June pa lang na double na ang number ng human rabies cases dun sa data from 2023. Ibig sabihin, yung mga taong namatay sa rabies last year, dinoble yun ng 2024, June pa lang. And the effect of the El Nino is that the skyrocketing number of dogs na naging strays and also nagkaroon ng rabies, also the cats. So we are hoping that people can help us become more aware on how we can make our communities safe at huwag ibunton sa hayop yung irresponsableng pag-rear sa kanila, no? Kasi what's happening is nagkakaroon ng rabies yung aso, kasalanan yun ng owner no? Kasalanan yun ng community, hindi ng aso. Kasi rabies is a virus like COVID. So, we need the community to help us and partner with us para maprotektahan ang community at ang mga hayop sa community.
Yung rabies sa inyo sa Davao lang na-monitor na high or sa nationwide?
National.
Pati sa Davao?
Mataas din. Let me share to you. I know that people think of us very noble, no? Na nagre-rescue, tumutulong sa mga hayop, kahit walang returns, ganon. But mind you, Rian and I, we are the ground rescuers of Bantay Hayop, and we had held rabid cats and dogs on our hands. Rabies exist. We have seen them go amok. We have seen them attempting to bite us. Pero it's because they're sick. Tapos, meron pang mga rabid dogs na yung owner tinapon ang aso, no? Suspected niya siya tinapon. So we had to ask the owner, hanapin nyo, because if another stray dog eats that dog or a stray cat eats that dog, talagang mag-spread yung rabies sa community natin. So yun, katulad din sa issue natin, no, na napag-usapan earlier, there is a big need for advocacy and information drive in the community. Kasi yung pagiging irresponsible natin, babalik din sa atin sa community. So in Davao City alone, sa amin lang, I think since January, we have encountered about 10 rabid dogs in the flesh. So if people are not scared kasi ay hindi man kasi ganito man ganyan. We have all the reasons not to be scared, no, but we have seen them. They are real.
Ano ba yung itsura ng rabid dog? Baka lakad ako sa kalsada, may nakasablubong ako na rabid dog.
Yeah. You know what? Yung pinarescue sa amin na 2 aso, ang sabi sa amin na sagasaan, hit and run. Pero nung nakita namin, nahawakan namin. Nag-wobbly lang siya maglakad. Hindi naman siya nangangagat. Pag hawakan mo siya, mag-a-attempt ng kagat. But it's the same with real hit and run. Kasi pag ang aso o pusa ahawakan mo, impin yung katawan, they will really be defensive. But that doesn't mean it's rabies. No? Pero, yun yung pinagtatakhan namin kasi meron tayong tinatawag na dumb symptoms. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya aggressive. Mamaya lang siya nagiging aggressive hours before death. So, nakuha namin, nahawakan namin, pinahiga ko pa sa kamay ko, and then suddenly, kasi paralyzed siya eh. So, from hip down, di niya na magalaw yung katawan niya. Pero hindi siya aggressive ha. Nagsi-seizure siya for one minute, and then okay na naman siya. After 1 hour, magsi-seizure na naman siya. And these are all symptoms of other diseases also. So, hindi mo masabing, oh, rabies yan. So now, nung dumating na siya sa clinic, nag-change ang behavior niya. Umakyat yung kanyang paralysis to the neck, and then bigla na siyang nagkaroon ng aggression. And I told the vet, I saw there is something in the eyes of a rabid dog and a rabid cat. Hindi siya sa color, more like, kasi meningal siya, parang meningitis. When you look at them, they will look at you pero parang ang tawag niya, parang dumidiretso yung tingin niya, hindi siya makafocus, but still looking at you. So I told the vet, the moment mag-expire po yung dog, please have the dog's head cut off. We need to send it to DCA-DDL first thing in the morning, and in the afternoon, we got the result positive. And it happened several times.
Okay, questions from our friend from the media?
Balik ko kay Ma'am Janet, i-clarify lang ako. Kapag ganing 6 nga bata, Davao City to siya, ma'am. Tapos as of, unsa to siya nga?
Davao City siya karon na year.
As of this month lang po niya, ma'am.
As of this year.
Is it okay, ma'am, mag-ask me, unsang pilay i-range sa edad sa mga bata po?
Naa sa 15 to before 18.
Okay. Kay Ma'am DSWD, ma'am, sa to ma'am, pila ato ang ihap sa mga bata sa cases nato under sa DSWD po?
For the year 2023, we have served a total of 77 PIP victim survivors, no, naatay 32 from the previous year and 45 na ongoing PANG cases. For this year, no, wala pa naman ang tuig pero nanatay 48 cases.
Compared to last year, ma'am, pila ang ato ang kanang nitaas ba, ni baba ba ato ang cases po?
Kini nga cases, this is only handled by DSWD, no? Dili ta ma-confuse kay bas lahi man gud ang number ng prosecution. So actually it's decreasing ang number ng clientele served na mo karon, ma'am.
Wala tayong data, ma'am, sa last year po. For comparison lang po sana for our writing.
A total of 77, ma'am. Last year. Opo, ma'am. Tapos this year 48 na lang.
Unsa ang reason, ma'am, nga nagbaba na mga programs unsa po?
So, number 1, gid no, gipahambog gid nato ang Interagency Council Against Trafficking ng Davao Region, no. This is chaired by DOJ and co-chaired ng department namo. So, advocacy dili lang manggod ni task ni DSWD but the entire IACAT members gyud naningkamot no in our own way nga makahatag gyud og advokasya. Sa mo agid particularly mo baba gyud mi sa LGUs, down gyud sa atong grassroots level. We even provided technical assistance, capacity building sa atong mga local barangays kasi we believe na kung kita lang diri no nakabalo unsang trafficking, unsa ang risk nga iyang mahimo, so dili siya ingon ana ka effective. So mao to isa sa atong mga nahimo. We started this last year no, kauban nato ang interagency. We went down to the barangay. Ug ang isa pud sa nakaayo ang pag-include ng trafficking sa indicator ng mga assessment ng DILG. So kabalo man taw for a fact nga naatay ginahimo nga yearly local count LCAT VAUSI assessment, functionality assessment. So with that, ginatest no kung unsa man ang preparedness ng LGU, unsa man yang ginahimo kung nay trafficking sa yang LGU. So isa pod to sa nahimong angkla nganong mag-lower down ang ato ang victims karon.
Thank you, ma'am. So, balikan ko si Ma'am Janet. Ma'am Janet, kaming 6 ka bata nato po is ano naman no cases nato sa trafficking. Tama po. Ma'am, under po sa dalikala, unsa to ang compared last year po, nabotay nakuanan po nga kaning cases po nato with trafficking, ma'am, sa 2023 po. Oo.
Sa 2023, dili kayo klaro ang data, pero karon man gyud tong daghan mi pa rescue no, o daghan mi gi-refer for services. So mas klaro siya tungod kay dili lang documentation. Sa last year mas documentation lang kanang pagtali lang, pero karon mas active in terms of rescue o referral.
Okay, clarification din kay attorney katugan yung numbers na to kaganina 2024 to siya attorney no, as of this month ba to siya?
Since the beginning of our Interagency Council Against Trafficking, sa effectivity kasi ng law, that's 2010, may data na kami. So kung yearly ang hindi namin nasa region ang aming data kung yearly. 79 cases for conviction. That's for the past 12 years.
12 years? 12 years since 2024 po.
Yes. As of 2024. Ang conviction kasi, hindi yan makuha sa isang, minsan ang cases natin would run through around 6 years or 4 years, depending on the situation. Because there are a lot of factors. Dami-daming cases sa court, nag-congest ang court ng cases. Although may Supreme Court administrative matter advisory sa kanila na to take priority, to give priority to human trafficking cases. But just the same, ang cases natin 3 years, 4 years, minsan maabot pa ng 6 years.
Thank you po.
Questions? Carlo? In the interest of time management?
With due diligence. Yes, with due diligence of time management. I will just go on first with the pastor. If necessary, you would divulge about the impact of this NGO, which aims to promote awareness against human trafficking in the past, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 14 years. What will you... I think going 15. What is the impact of those people who have been given the awareness? And although we cannot give all to those people who have not heard about to spread awareness against human trafficking, especially to those minors, if you would know, what will be given the biggest awareness and impact for that kind of prevention against human trafficking?
It's a great question, because when we talk about data and statistics, one thing that we don't know is how many cases we've prevented, right? That's the one thing that doing prevention work, actually you don't know what you prevented because you prevented it. So, but what we know is that when we have gauged how many people that we've reached, it's into the hundreds of thousands of people within southern Philippines and Mindanao. And of course we have other impact studies and how the ripple effect of doing this sort of program. I believe also one of the things that we do is not just raise awareness on trafficking, but we want to speak to those people, especially the young people, to rise up in their leadership, to have a good influence, to be a voice. And so there's multiple impacts for this type of advocacy. And actually one thing, a comment I just wanted to make about the data and the statistics is that one thing, for every reported case, we don't know how many are unreported, do we? And because this is a hidden crime, because it's an unreported crime, we have these statistics, but for me, usually that means that there's probably times 10, times 20, times 30, maybe more. It's hard to estimate how many victims are actually out there and it's unreported. So that's my best answer in terms of the impact that we have made. We know that we've reached hundreds of thousands, and not only are we advocating against this, but we're also bringing a positive message of us having a powerful voice, rising up in our leadership, being a good influence in society, and for that we see young people and those that have been through our training programs out being a positive impact in their community.
As I can remember, 3 years ago, there was a opening of the restaurant, and then one of which was special guest is the former actress Juliana Palermo. So, how did her story had shared to, especially to me, that I heard, to become an inspiration to those to fight against human trafficking?
Yeah, her story was that when she was young, she was very close to being a victim of trafficking. Thankfully she wasn't, but she told her story of how as a young girl, and I think going for modeling, if I remember the story correct, actually interesting connection, in Manila, as we know that she's known, she's known for her beauty and for acting, and she was going to be a trafficking victim, but somebody intervened and she wasn't. So thank God that's a positive story. And so by us telling more and more of those stories, it's important. I'd like to reference something that if we saw the Sound of Freedom movie recently that was released in the last couple years, it's interesting because, did you see that movie, The Sound of Freedom? Yeah, well, the Sound of Freedom movie it's set on a true story in Central America, where a father takes his young children to what is to be a modeling agency. He thinks it's a modeling agency, drops them off, and they are then trafficked. And the story of the movie is about the rescue of those children. And one thing that I like to say when I advocate for what we do is if Global Impact, if IACAD, if my other NGO partners, if we had been on the ground there doing our job and getting the education out there, that father never would have innocently taken his young children to that modeling agency and dropped them off. Why? Because of prevention, because of knowledge, because of awareness, because of education. And so that's really our goal, and that movie is actually a great way to look at the whole issue, what happens, but also the power of prevention.
I will have to transfer to Pao Garcia regarding for the up-and-coming fashion show. At this juncture, pila naka-tickets na ang na-sold na?
Actually, right now kasi we'll be nailing the show at the hotel. So, kinda all the people talaga will be doing, having a dress code. It's a Paris theme. So, related to the tickets, still available. We're still accepting ticket buyers up to July 25 to max, because every buyer of tickets or who reserve the tickets will have talaga specific names on the seats. So everything is monitored and systematic po with the show. We will not accept no reservations or on the day payments. So going back to also to masabi lang ako, Carl, no, I hope that Global Impact will acknowledge agencies that are legit to help inform. Example, you'll be assigned in Mindanao. Example, my agency will be acknowledged to Global Impact that these are assessed, monitored, guided, and so that it will let the people know, especially to the parents out there na, oh, I'm searching for a legit agency for my kid. So Global Impact can help us to that, to acknowledge various or certain agencies that are safe for their children. I think that's one big help for me, not to market, but in protection or to support, because rampant talaga, vulnerable talaga ang mga young people, especially these beautiful women, these kids, for the human trafficking. And that's why, going back to you din po, I'm inviting everybody to watch talaga the show, and open pa po ang tickets natin. Just inform Icon and its artist management.
I just want to say, I think it's wonderful that you have an agency that is doing that for young people and giving them this sort of opportunity in a very, most likely powerful way. So thank you, powerful and legit way. We understand because you are here, of course. And I just want to acknowledge, that is a wonderful way to help young people progress in life. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you so much to our guests. Again, sa July 30 is the World Day Against Trafficking. Parting statement would start with Ma'am Julie.
behalf sa Regional Director ng Department of Social Welfare and Development, Office 11, and also the co-chair ng IACAT WOW 11, Attorney Vanessa Bigokong, mapasalamatan namang department sa paghatag og chance no sa MOA nga ma-istorya, especially ang programs and services ng trafficking victim survivors nato. So sa makausap pa, let us continue no, to help not only the government but also itong partner NGOs in the fight against trafficking. Mayong buntag sa atong tanan.
Ma'am Janet?
Sige, daghang salamat sa PIA o sa tanan nga media people nga naa karon aron makahisgot kami sa human trafficking in behalf sa Talikala. Diin member mi sa IACAT no sa Region 11. Daghang salamat sa oportunidad nga kapartner gyud namo ang media personalities sa diha sa pag-fight against trafficking in persons. Unta mahatagan og kanang panahon ang mga biktima nga madungog pud ilang tingog sa mga press conferences or radio interviews aron mahibawan nato unsay tan-aw nila, unsay na-contribute nila sa kampanya ug unsa tong mga serbisyo nga makatabang sa ilaha aron dili sila mahimong biktima usab no kay naman tay ginahon nga trafficking. For the ang atong kampanya dili lang July 30 kun dili tibok tuig aron masabtan kung unsa gyud ang trafficking in persons o human trafficking. At the same time katabang ang tibuok sectors no lain-laing sektor diha sa pagbatok sa trafficking in persons.
You can count on the Department of Justice, especially when it comes to the prosecution of offenders. So, salamat sa ato ang opportunity karon na nakahatag ta og education para sa tanan.
Sa ngalan sa Interfaith ng Davao City and of course the Region 11, padayon ang mga kasimbahanan sa pagprotekta sa ating mga kabataan. Kaya ang kabataan, pressure sila from the Lord, and we need to take care of them, and we'll build talaga a society safe for children. Thank you.
Salamat kayo everyone for having us today. My last words are let's all be aware, be a voice, and be involved in the fight against human trafficking. We are all needed. Thank you. Salamat kayo.
Now we will introduce some of the models.
I will have 47 models with kids and from 4 years old to 32 years old that will do the runway. Sige lang mag-promote lang kayo sa show. Sige. At the moment, when is the show?
July 28th. Park N. Promote the fashion forward.
Nahiya siya.
Please watch for this July 28th. Fashion forward, the offline Omega po.
Okay. Promote.
Good morning, everyone. We all invite you to come to our show in Park Inn.
Again, ginawag na ko ito na July 28 po, Park Inn, Alpha and Omega, Fashion Forward, 4 p.m. po, with free cocktails and pika-pika na po tayo. Then, the dress code is Paris theme. Inquire na lang po sa Icon Elite Artist Management for the ticket and in support to Bantay Hayop Davao. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank you so much to Icon Elite, the models. Good luck sa inyong event. It will be again successful. Okay, this has been Rida Pama to next week. More relevant topics to be discussed. We would like to thank SMCT Davao and Kiss the Queen for the gracious notes and coffee.